Yes, welcome to the Woman Agenda channel. Yes, we are back here live on the Woman Agenda channel here, bringing you latest live news. We will be covering the Ukraine situation as well. We focus on women, as you know, on the Woman Agenda channel and women programming, live interviews, but we will be focusing on the Ukraine situation. We are closely monitoring the situation. We will be bringing you news on that tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. This is so we will bring you more information on the Ukraine situation, what Russia are doing, bring you that on the Women Agenda channel. So we will be bringing these kind of extra news programs on situations like this because as a responsible channel, we need to cover stuff which is happening and mattering to the world, and we need to bring it and bring some information to the viewers. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, this is Raju here, only on the Woman Agenda channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday, wherever you guys are. I hope you're staying safe with your family and friends and everyone else. This is the latest news on Afghanistan women situation and latest news on Afghanistan, what's happening this week. So lots of information to gather along with, including Pakistan-Afghanistan border still closed 2 days after a deadly clash. Students return to Kabul University with restrictions. What's that all about? Missing Afghanistan women activist has been released, UN has reported. And India dispatches over 2,500 tons of wheat to Afghanistan via Pakistan. So obviously that is some good news there that India has been able to do that. So let's kick it off with the first latest Afghanistan news. Pakistan and Afghanistan border still closed 2 days after deadly clash. So let's see what's that all about. Reported by IranianNews.af that India on two. Beg your pardon. So it's digitaljournal.com. Actually, it's hundreds of people were stranded Saturday at a key border crossing between Pakistan and Afghanistan, days after fighting between security forces left at least 3 dead. Border tensions have risen since the Taliban's return to power last year, with Pakistan alleging militant groups are planning to attack from Afghan soil. The Taliban deny harboring Pakistan militants, but are also infuriated by a fence Islamabad is erecting along their 2,700 kilometers, 1,600-mile border drawn up in colonial times and known as the Durand Line. Each side blamed the other for Thursday's fighting at the Chaman Spin Poldak crossing. The border remains closed for passengers as well as trade, a Pakistani security official told AFP. A delegation of tribal notables and religious leaders have been formed to hold talks with the Taliban, he added. And the AFP reporters saw hundreds of people waiting at Chaman for the border to reopen. Thousands usually cross every day, including traders. And over to the next news. In Afghanistan, students returned to Kabul University with the restrictions. So reported by CollegeTimes.com, students have finally returned to university. So Kabul University, among Afghanistan's oldest and most revered institutions of higher education, reopened Saturday, 6 months after the Taliban retook the country. There were new restrictions in place, however, including gender segregation and mandatory Islamic dress. Dozens of female students, all wearing the hijab, lined up outside the university gate. They were eager to resume classes, abruptly cut short in the wake of the Taliban's August takeover. Taliban stood guard at the campus' three entrances. Most of the students said they didn't know what to expect, but were surprised to discover they could resume regular coursework and advance in their chosen field of study. The university largely follows the US liberal arts model. The music department was the only discipline council for both male and females. Returning students told the Associated Press the Taliban did not respond to AFAP requests for comment. There have been no changes made to the syllabus, said Barija Aman, 21, a third-year anthropology major. The instructions are the same in my classes. I am happy they have finally let us return to university, she added. So that's some good news that that the female students are able to go back to a university there. That's some good news there. Over to some more good news about the missing Afghan women. So this was reported by the UN and Al Jazeera.com publishing this article. So four women activists in Afghanistan have been released by the country's de facto authorities after going missing weeks ago, the United Nations has said. Since storming back to power in August, the Taliban have cracked down on dissent by forcefully dispersing women rallies, detaining critics, and often beating local journalists covering unsanctioned protests. Tamanna Zariabi Pariani and Parwana Ibrahim Kale, Zara Mohammadi, and Mursal Ayar went missing after participating in an anti-Taliban rally. But Afghanistan's new rulers, whose Afghan government is still not recognized by any country, has constantly denied detaining them. After a long period of uncertainty about their whereabouts and safety, the four disappeared. Afghan women activists, as well as their relatives who also went missing, have all been released by the de facto authorities. The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, UNAMA, said on Twitter on Sunday. AFP reported the release of Ibrahim Kale on Friday. She went missing along with the Biryani on January 19th, days after taking part in a rally in Kabul calling for women's rights to work and education. Weeks later, Mohammadi and Ayer went missing. Some relatives of the four women protesters had gone missing. So shortly before she disappeared, footage of Biryani was shared on social media showing her in distress, warning of Taliban fighters at her door. So this is some stuff which I had covered earlier regarding that they went missing. So some good news there that they have been released, and what Taliban had denied is all come at forefront that they were lying in the first place. They had actually detained them all four of them. But good news that they have been returned to their families. Some good news there. And finally, but not least, some more good news regarding the Afghanistan people in concern that India had managed to dispatch 2,500 tons of wheat to Afghanistan via Pakistan. Now Pakistan have finally agreed to allow India to dispatch this through their borders. And IrianaNews.af have reported this as well, that the consignment is part, the India on Tuesday dispatched 2,500 tons of wheat in aid to Afghanistan through Pakistan. The consignment is part of the 50,000 tons of wheat India has pledged to deliver to Afghanistan within the next 3 months. The wheat will be handed over to Jalabad to the United Nations World Food Programme, with which India has signed a pact to distribute the aid in Afghanistan. It will cross through Ontario-Wagah border, which has been closed to Indian goods since August 2019, when Islamabad suspended trade relations with New Delhi. Pakistan have said it's opening the land route as an exception only for the transit of humanitarian aid to Afghanistan. We've covered a long distance to reach India. Now we will take the donated wheat back to Afghanistan through our Wagah route, our truck driver said. India, meanwhile, announced it was sending the wheat in October in response to appeals made by the United Nations for humanitarian assistance to Afghanistan. So that's the latest Afghanistan news. If you want to advertise with our channel, The Woman Agenda, get in touch with us at talentspotlight309@gmail.com. And if you want to be featured, if you want to co-present, or if you want to have a live interview, and you think you made a difference, get in touch with it. talentspotlight309@gmail.com as well. Thank you very much for watching the latest news on Afghanistan. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want to get in touch with us on the social media channels, this is the way to do it. Twitter at Raju at Female Spotlight Twitter handler, and Facebook is Woman Talent Podcast. I will leave you with this, and I will be back soon. Have a fantastic Saturday.